How real are the eating challenges on Man v. Food? When cheating chefs put host Adam Richman's health in danger, the show's producers covered it up in the edit, and it wasn't the only time they've tried to lie. In the 4 seasons of Man v. Food that he hosted, Adam Richman was apparently intended to serve as an everyman. Richman has a sort of populist appeal, in that culinary know-how typically takes a backseat to enthusiasm for the food he spotlights. Richman isn't just a regular guy off the street, though. While he wasn't trained as a chef, Richman did earn a master's degree from Yale's drama school and appeared in a handful of TV shows as an actor prior to Man v. Food. As an actor, Richman had to do a lot of travel, and during his undergrad years, he maintained a food journal, keeping track of some of the best meals he ate across the United States. Richman's acting background may be surprising, but it also helped make him a natural in front of the camera, or at least seem like a natural. It turns out that preparing for a Man v. Food challenge is considerably more involved than just spending some time in a kitchen learning about what's about to be eaten. During an interview with 411 Mania, Richman explained that there's a lot of preparation before the challenge begins. If I do have a day off, I don't eat, or eat very minimally, and I drink a lot of water and club soda to keep my stomach stretched and full and to keep myself hydrated. The most important aspect is that I work out like a beast. I work out like a beast the night before and the morning of. Meanwhile, during a Reddit AMA, Richman added that for spice-based eating feats, he would ready his stomach with bananas, white rice, and/or Pepto-Bismol.
My face is on fire. The back of my tongue is on fire. Wowza.
Many fans have wondered how the hosts of Man v. Food are able to stay healthy while eating so much food. The answer is, with great difficulty. After leaving the show, Richman revealed that he struggled with his body image while making Man v. Food. It wasn't the eating challenges that posed the biggest problem, though, as Richman instead blamed having constant access to food while filming at restaurants all day. Eating challenges posed their own set of problems. Richman told 411 Mania that he had a long post-challenge recovery program. For instance, for several days after a challenge, he would have to avoid drinks that might further irritate his stomach. He also told the Las Vegas Review-Journal that working out on a treadmill was key to his post-challenge recovery routine. Despite all the eating challenges he tackled on Man v. Food, Adam Richman doesn't actually consider himself a competitive eater. He told MASH that since he lacked confidence in his abilities, he relied on the encouragement of the fans and his own inner drive to get through difficult food challenges. He also told Total Food that since eating is something all humans must do, it's easier for an amateur to approximate a professional eater's skill level than it is for, say, an amateur basketball player to play like Michael Jordan. But compared to professional competitive eaters like Joey Chestnut, Richman considered himself to be strictly amateur, saying, "I was never a competitive eater." Perhaps the most outspoken critic of Man v. Food was the late celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain. During a 2015 live appearance in Atlanta, Bourdain characterized the series as an unflattering reflection of American excess, and he also called out the show's fans, suggesting they were just hate-watching because they hoped to see Richman fail. Why did we watch that show? Admit it, you wanted him to die. Still, Richman told MASH that behind the scenes he considered Bourdain to be a mentor. Richman was hurt by Bourdain's open disdain for Man v. Food, but revealed that Bourdain later apologized and even gave him career advice despite his own personal challenges.
He went through a lot. He was a stoic, amazing dude.
One of the most infamous moments in Man v. Food history happens in Season 1, Episode 10, when Richman attempts to eat 180 oysters at the iconic Acme Oyster House in New Orleans. Richman beat the challenge, but he famously later told The Mirror that the experience had put him off oysters for good. Strangely enough, there's very little footage of the final 60 oysters being eaten, and there's a reason for that. During a Reddit Q&A, Richman revealed that after downing 120 oysters or so, he quoted a line from the 1984 Foreigner hit, "I want to know what love is." This inspired a nearby extra to join in and sing the next verse with him. The episode's director promptly urged them to stop, because without paying for an expensive license, they couldn't legally air footage containing copyrighted music. Richman responded not by listening to his director, but leading even more of the restaurant in a sing-along. He explained, "Keeping my mind off of the challenge was oftentimes the only way I would win them, so I didn't want to stop singing." Ever wonder what it's like to be one of the random people in the background during a Man v. Food episode? Well, according to a Redditor who participated in the filming of one episode, it wasn't a whole lot of fun. They explained that it was uncomfortably warm inside the restaurant, and that it was exhausting to continually clap and smile at the producers' urging. Additionally, they were even fed lines by producers who told them exactly what to say.
Man, he's got the gift. He's gonna take this burger down.
Still, there was one positive, as the extra said that Richman was a really nice, bubbly person. Everything else, though, was Hollywood magic. Thanks to his commitment to preparing as much as possible before and after each food challenge, Richman made it through most of Man v Food safely. The sole food challenge that explicitly didn't go so smoothly is featured in Season 2, Episode 7, when Richman attempts the so-called Fire in Your Hole challenge at the Munchies 420 Cafe in Sarasota, Florida. A hot mic caught the restaurant's kitchen staff admitting to adding an entire bottle of ghost pepper chili extract instead of a standard dash in an attempt to make sure that Richman lost the challenge. The resulting wings were so hot, Richman's tongue and nasal passages swelled, and he had to quickly quit the challenge. Richman later said he felt the show's director should have intervened for safety reasons to prevent the tampering, something he's still hot under the collar about today. Richman told Hot Ones host Sean Evans, "The reason why I'm especially mad is not because of my record. I don't give a shit about that. It's that it's cavalier and dangerous. They weaponize ghost chili extract in police grenades in India."
Today in Sarasota, Florida, at Munchies 420, in the battle of man versus food, food definitely won.
Richman left Man v Food in 2012. When the show returned in 2017, in his place was a new everyman named Casey Webb, but he wasn't exactly a new face. In fact, in television terms, he was kind of that guy, someone you might recognize from his other appearances without knowing his name. One of Webb's first credits of note, albeit in a role so brief his character is unnamed, was in the HBO drama Boardwalk Empire. The following year, he appeared for the first time on Amy Schumer's sketch comedy series Inside Amy Schumer. In fact, in an interview with the Cleveland, Ohio-based news outlet WKYC, Webb described Schumer as a good friend. Webb's longest-running acting gig was in 20 episodes of a web series called Part-Timers on the popular YouTube channel Smosh. Even after starting working on Man v Food, Webb continued to act, albeit sporadically. Some of his credits post-2017 include 2 subsequent appearances on Inside Amy Schumer and an episode of Schumer's more dramatic series, Life and Beth. When the Travel Channel first announced its revival of Man v Food, a number of fans spoke up online, criticizing the decision to continue without Richman. Many of those fans didn't necessarily have anything against Webb, but merely felt that Richman was a key ingredient that couldn't be replaced. In fact, Richman himself didn't seem to think Webb could or should replace him. When someone commented on his Instagram that they were unhappy with Webb as a replacement, Richman responded, "Replacement? LOL, nah, just someone driving a stolen car." A 2022 Reddit thread asking users on the Man v Food subreddit which host they prefer received a landslide of votes for Richman. Nevertheless, most people clearly like Webb just fine, as he's now appeared in more seasons and more episodes than Richman did. Ironically though, Webb told Dan Patrick that when he auditioned, he didn't even know it was for Man v Food.
I knew it was a host show. I knew that there would be some component of eating to it. They told me it wasn't Man versus Food because that show had been off the air for 5 years.
The degree to which Richman struggled with Man v Food is unclear. On the one hand, he stated that the weight he gained while hosting the show had a negative impact on his mental health. On the other hand, he publicly denied that health concerns motivated him to step down from competitive eating. Webb, however, has been clear about his struggles, revealing that the food challenges required for Man v Food took a legitimate toll on him. In a podcast interview for Food Network Obsessed, Webb revealed that preparing for the challenges was a lot of work, and that the challenges themselves were so taxing that he nearly quit after the first season. Ultimately, he decided instead to persevere, in part because he appreciated how the show shedding light on locally owned restaurants was good for their business. Given the multiple seasons of food challenges that followed, it's safe to say Webb became plenty accustomed to competitive eating, whether he liked it or not.